Hey guys, this is day 3 working on this back porch. We once called it a porch, now it's a den.
Gotta get used to calling it
Got to
that
get used
now.
to calling it that. That's right. Man, we've made some progress, and it's a beautiful day in the Ozarks. I don't know what in the world's happened. It is t-shirt weather. I mean, I would venture to say it could get into short weather this afternoon. I won't wear them, but it would be short weather. Anyways, I think it's supposed to be in the high 60s or low 70s today, and so we're going to take advantage of it, get some more work done out here. And we lost a little bit of footage on our last video. I guess our camera quit recording for some reason, so you did not get to see us get a little bit of it done, but I thought we would just do a real quick walk and kind of show you what we have gotten done, and maybe you can see a few things. All right, so we do have a couple of rafters up. We've got the first rafter, well, not quite the first, but one of the first rafters, and one of the last rafters. You see here, we got to extend that ridge on out onto the roof, so that's one of the things I'm going to probably work on today. And we got our rafter braces, and we won't tell you the horror stories that's happened so far, but we've had a pretty rough go trying to figure this thing out. Neither one of us necessarily are builders by trade.
Well, let's just say adrenaline kicks in and you're able to hold up a full beam by yourself.
Yeah, superhuman strength. Well, let's just say that we did not have it properly secured down there, and the whole thing started falling this way towards our death. And so I'm running up my 12-foot ladder to hurry up and get to the peak to secure it off better.
Well,
which was
I'm trying to hold this entire beam by myself with just the stick.
with just a 2x4 stick.
Anyway,
so we learned our lesson. We now have it secured off, and we put more braces. These braces were here. This brace and this brace and this brace we're all here. We had that 2x4 braced off with the saddle on top holding that ridge on. We had all those braces there.
we just didn't have our height right.
We just didn't have our height right.
We had to maneuver some things with that brace up. Yeah. What's really cool about this den, I wanted to point out too, is we were originally building this back porch in a what do you call it?
Timber frame, post and beam
fashion. So we are going to keep that look because we just love it, and the ceilings are still going to get to be vaulted, and we are still going to wrap wood and have the open beams and all that stuff. It's just going to be in the family room now, and so I'm really excited about it. It's going to look pretty cool.
We will have collar ties that will run the full length of the ridge that you see there. We'll have collar ties that will run across there so that we won't have any kind of flexing or anything like that on the roof, and we'll hold the walls where they need to be held. And for those of you that build, you know what I'm talking about. We'll also have them go probably 2 foot down, maybe 3 foot down, and we'll put a false ceiling up there, and then that way we can have our HVAC and our power and those kind of things run through there.
I don't know if we'll do a false ceiling or maybe another wrapped beam up there.
Yeah, we'll do something.
It's changing a lot.
We keep talking about it, and the more we understand about what it takes to build it and stuff like that, it ends up changing. We would love to have left it cathedral and just had the open rafters in the cathedral style, but after talking to some guys that do this, some framers that do this for a living, they said you really have to have some sort of a collar tie to give a triangle effect. If you took 2 sticks and put them together like a triangle, kind of like that, you push on the tip and it's just going to flatten out. And so I mean, it makes sense to me. The collar tie gives the bottom to the triangle and gives it its rigid strength. And some guys said, well, we could have doubled up our ridge and made it a 3-inch ridge instead of an 1.5-inch ridge, and that would have given it some rigidity. A strong double top plate on the wall gives it some rigidity and some strength too. But being a post and beam style, it's actually 2x8 top plates instead of just 2x4 top plates, but it's still not, I don't trust it. So we're going to end up putting collar ties of some kind Or we may end up not putting collar ties and actually putting a beam across in a couple of spots and have kind of a beam, and then maybe do some uplighting from the beam or something like that. We don't know exactly. We haven't completely figured it yet, but for right now, just putting the rafters on and doing all that's gonna, I mean, it's held together just fine. We don't have the weight of the roof and, you know, snow load or anything like that. So
there's been some really difficult aspects about us living in a construction zone, but living in it is really helping us see what we do want and need, and so our house continues to morph as we build it, which has been really nice because everything's changed about 100 different times. So, and we originally built this house as kind of I don't want to say tiny house because it was a little bigger than that, but it was a smaller house for a family of then 6, and we thought, well, hey, we'll be fine in this. But we're finding we do need storage. We need places for hand-me-down clothes to go. We need places we do have a lot of hobbies and crafts and stuff. We need, you know, storage for that. We need storage for all our homeschool stuff. There's just a lot of stuff there. We do can and preserve food and all that stuff. We need places for all that to go. And we had that out in your shop for a while, but he just does a lot of woodworking, and that was taking up a lot of his space, and so it was like, well, we need a garage. So
and
we
it's
got
getting
the
dirty
garage
all the time because, you know, cutting wood creates a bunch of dust, and then everything gets dusty and dirty. And you know, if you have certain things in certain areas, you know, we have like our animal feed along with some of our storage. Well, animal feed invites pests, and the cats have taken care of most of that, but animal feed invites pests and roaches, and you know, you do the best you can to keep it clean, but stuff comes, right?
Especially in a wooded area that has never been touched or done anything with.
Yeah, completely brand new woods have, you know.
That's a whole nother story.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like our family room. You know, we thought, well, we don't need a family room because we all want to be together in the same room all the time. And we still do, and we love that aspect. But, like, we've had friends over the past few weeks on and off, and with our 5 kids and their 2 to 4 kids coming over, that's a lot of people in one room. And when the kids are wanting to play and do all that stuff, yeah, they can go into a bedroom, but that's a lot of kids in one bedroom too. And so that's why we started brainstorming the porch just being a family room, so that way, you know, when we have 9 to 12 kids sometimes in the house, sometimes more than that, I guess, then they can all be in the family room, have somewhere to go. We can have our quiet up front area that, you know, a lot of our homeschool and music stuff is all going to end up being. And so it's just been such a process of learning. One house does not fit everyone. And our needs of a family of 7 have changed greatly, especially as the kids grow and have their own hobbies and their own music stuff. And it's just morphed so much. And so I guess on an encouraging note, your house doesn't have to look like anybody's, because it's not going to fit everybody.
It's yours. When we first started building this house, when I first designed it, the very first time, we were already building it whenever we first turned it in, you know, designed it into a house. That's another story for another day too. But when we first did, I always said, this is phase 1. We came into it knowing that the house we live in right now is phase 1. Now, things happened differently than we thought. We thought it was going to be 5 years before we built phase 2, but with the economy and everything going on with it, and interest rates being so low, and I mean, banks are giving money away. You know, if you can afford it, it's a pretty decent time to try to do this. Now, obviously, lumber prices have gone up, but we bought all of our lumber before they went up, so it worked out well for us. But anyways, you know, doing that and having all of that being said, you know, it was a good time to go ahead and start. And so we always planned on this being phase 1. Now, our phase 2 did morph into phase 2 and phase 3 all at once.
But we'll be done.
But we'll be done. And
so ready to
you know, we're going to end up pretty well in our home because we're doing the work ourselves. And you know, some people, I'd never do that, I'd hire that done. Well, that's fine, and if that's your style, do that. If that's where you're at, do that.
It's your life. Just
do what works
Yeah,
for you, right? Live your journey.
Yeah.
Our journey said, let's do it. Let's do it ourselves. And we are doing everything. We've done everything ourselves, except for mudding and taping a little bit of the mudding and taping a little bit of the room and the concrete. And the guys, they were awesome guys and they did a great job. Could we have done it? Yeah, we could have done it. And we notched that belt and we we wore that shirt and bought the hat from the vacation. We're good. We don't need to do concrete ever again.
No,
on a mass scale.
Them and call it good.
Yeah, good guys, good family men, and we really like them. They're father and son team, and they did a great job. But anyways, we say all that to say, it's really important for us to make sure that we emphasize for you guys that, not everything that we do it would fit your style, and not everything you do would fit ours. But it works for us, and we're happy, and this is our family, and we really love where we're at, and we love our house, and we love what we're doing. I get to sit in my living room at night, as the kids are playing, winding down for the night, getting ready to go to bed and whatnot. And it's like I sat there last night and I said, I just love our house. Follow along. If you guys are enjoying this, please tell your friends. If you know people that are like us, that are just interested in living their journey and building their own home and doing some of their own work. And, I don't necessarily do a how-to in a lot of things, but
it's been pretty encouraging following other people doing the same journey. And we just want to be an encouragement.
When you want to lay in bed all morning on a Saturday because you're just stressed out and you're bummed out and you're really burnt out, watching some other people that are going through it, going, man, I know what you feel. I feel what you're feeling right now. I know the burnout you're feeling. That there's really a catharsis there with that feeling of feeling like you're not the only one in the world that's crazy. Mm-hmm. People tell us all the time how crazy we are. We had our drywall guy said, my wife and I were talking last night about how your house is too small for your family, and we're like, thanks, buddy. But anyways, we're so glad he gave us that information. We didn't know. Anyways, not everybody's going to understand every part of your journey, but that's why we really emphasize, and I know it's just a name on a YouTube channel, but man, if you could really grab a hold of what it means to live your own journey and live a good journey. And life sucks bad enough to not have a little bit of fun and for it to be good in your own way.
There's so much to enjoy.
There is. So guys, thanks for joining along. I think I'll just go ahead and end it here. Thanks for joining along. And
3 minutes later.
And like we always say, and like we just got done saying, live a good journey.